Were you guys upset that you didn't get to chase villains their time? Did you have fun on the movie night this episode?
I don't think that I needed since I did as much time chasing. So that would have been fun if every episode we were doing a Bill and Ted's, not Bill and Ted's, but they were going through different time periods. Did you know that?
I had heard something like that, but I think we were just so happy with what we got to do. You know, I wouldn't have changed a thing.
Yeah, would have detracted from what you guys were doing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And Movie Madness was a blast. For me, that was the one I got to I got to go to shoot at a temple, and I had a whole fight scene with all the stunt guys. So I think I fought do you guys remember 10 or something guys in that scene? That was so much fun for me.
And you know what, to answer, I'm sorry, your name again, I know I met.
My name's Tim.
Tim. And Tim, you know, what happened our season, truthfully, this may have played into it, I don't know, is that there was a pending writer's strike that was coming at the end of the year. So they were literally, we were filming 5-6 days a week, mostly 6, trying to push 40 episodes through to get it done because they were anticipating there'd be a work stoppage. They wanted our season to can. So if there was a stoppage, the writers and the actors were done. And they might have done a little bit more, but when you start shifting time zones and production value, and there's a lot of setup going into that, they may have had to pull it back a bit. That might have been what happened. Because they usually follow the set time pretty closely, you know. So maybe that's just a guess.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Question?
Okay.
It's so funny, everyone always asks this, and I sit there and I think to myself, what's the funniest thing that I can tell you guys? Because Michael and I had a lot of fun playing pranks on this one, and there's so many memories, but it's like someone says, tell me a joke, and you're like, I can't think of it for your life. So, I think the one I always can mention is that we did a scene where the girls were pouring this big bucket of water on us through these takes the whole day. We were down there, and at the very end, they had a huge bucket they got to pour it on us. It was not warm that day. It was a cold bucket of water, and that was the end of that particular episode. When they pour it, we're like, we'll get you, ha ha ha, and they freeze it. So at the end of the thing, we got the girls to go talk to the director, and we kind of shuffled them down into this we got our own bucket of water, doused it again. Do you remember that?
It's so funny. No.
Yeah.
But I know it happened.
Maybe it was just Deb. I swear you were there too. But we big bucket.
I mean, that might have happened. But yeah, it's the same, Savannah. We could tell a million stories. Well, I always talk about the whoopee cushion. We just had this whoopee cushion for an entire year that would end up places. It was just, I don't know why that never got on TV. And I was the one who often was the victim, if you will. Because I'm super gullible. Jason would be like, sit on that, and I'd be like, why? Okay. But a million stories. Just fun, super fun things like the episode when I was really beat up and I was in the hospital, supposed to be in the hospital recovering, and he's got this big dramatic scene over me. I fell asleep. Just little fun behind the scenes things. But we used to fall asleep between takes sometimes. Just bad stories to tell. Okay, we weren't really lazy. We worked our butts off. You know what? Actually, if you haven't heard this is a really sweet story, Johnny. The morning of the show, the premiere, the Saturday morning, we were already a little family, and Jason was out of town, so he couldn't do it with us. But do you guys remember that Tom Hanks movie, Castaway? They had the ball Wilson. So we'd taken a ball, and I think we wrote his name on it, or we held it in the picture. But me, Debbie, Michael, and Kevin all got together in our pajamas and made breakfast. Just us, no friends, no other family, and we watched the first episode together. And we took a picture, like us, and we held it all up for Jason. And that was such a sweet memory to do that. I've never had an experience like that before or since.
We play pranks each other to this day. We all got Erin last night, big time at the restaurant. So we do stuff all the time.
Well, Jason, the prank Frank. Okay. Have you heard the story where he blames me for falling on his face when we were doing backflips off the tree? I was supposed to spot him, which I was doing. I'll just tell this story real quick because it was funny for me. There's a second half to it where he got me back, but I won't tell that one. Maybe later. But anyways, right? So we were in Australia shooting a movie. We're in our civvies, our civilian wardrobe, and they're setting up lights, and we're at this tree. It's like a palm tree, and it's almost like steps. And so Jason would run, and you'd take 3 steps. I'll stand up. Jason would run, and you'd take 3 steps and backflip off the tree, and I would just be there to spot him. If he, so he goes, and if he commits, all I have to do is push a little bit if I need to. But we're doing this, and then I would run, and I would bounce and bounce off like a frog. I would jump off of it, right? It was in character. Very method. So I would do my flip, and he would spot me, and I would spot him. And so always 3 steps, I'd count them in my head. 1, 2, 3, and I'm there. And he made it over. Okay, good. So one time, he starts running towards me. So in mid-stride, he's like, I'm just going to keep going. And I didn't know what that meant. I was just like, all right, whatever that means. And then he goes, right? And I'm counting 1, 2, 3, and I put my hand out. And then 4, 5, like around 6. And I'm like, this is not the same. And I look up, and now he's like coming down towards me, like head first, right? And he's a big guy. And I'm like, this is me. I'm like a half Asian. I was a lot less than this, And so I did what anybody would do. I went like this. And so he said, and then he cut his face, and we got in big trouble and yelled at him. So it's good times. Good times.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Aw, Savannah.
Second half, yeah, he did get me back eventually.